How's it going today, guys? So today I want to talk to you a little bit about the lenses I actually bring with me on a wedding day, with the exclusion of the one I'm actually shooting, which is the 35 1.4 GM. So that one I'll be able to show you because it's on the camera and I don't have another way to record unless I put one of the other lenses on, which would negate the whole purpose. But anyway, from your left to, you know, your right there, or my right to the left, starting here. The 35 1.8, 135 1.8. This one doesn't get used a whole lot. I do like it because of the amount of compression that it actually offers, and it's a sharp lens. If you know anything about Sony lenses or know anything about the 135, you know that it's an absolute beast, and it's an amazing lens. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I just find that a lot of the times I don't get really tight. I do use it for compression when I'm a long way away, just so I can get in a little bit tighter, but I'm more of an environmental portrait type photographer, if that's what you want to call it. I will flash some images up here that I recently took from the first wedding of this year, 2024, that I used basically all my lenses on this wedding day. With the exception of the 85, I believe. It might just be in there, but there's not a whole lot of good example photos that I have from that day. I'm going to skip over this one and come back to it. This one's the 50 1.8. I despise this lens. I hate it. I don't use it very often. It's an okay lens. It's fairly sharp. There's nothing insanely wrong with it other than the fact that it's hard to get in focus sometimes. Like, you can hear it hunting for focus, and it's just not... It's not 100% the best. Good starter, nifty 50, made of plastic pretty much around the whole thing. It's okay. Generally, Megan, my wife, uses that one on our third body whenever she's shooting because she likes the 50. I need to get her an updated 50 because this one is, again, not the greatest. This is the 85 1.8. The 85 1.8, I got this one instead of the 1.4 because I did a lot of research on it before I actually bought it. Compared to the 1.4, this one's rumored to be faster with autofocus. I don't know if that's true or not because I've never had the 1.4, the G Master. I can say the only gripe that I have about this lens is the fact that it's like cool. Like it's pretty blue straight out of camera. I mean, obviously I can correct all that in post, so it's not a huge deal. It's nothing deterring me from actually using the lens for sure. It's been with me since almost the beginning of my wedding photography journey. You know, and it's been, one that's just been with me a long time. The 35 1.4, which is on there now, I've had it. It's probably my second newest lens. This one's the newest, the 135. So there was the 35 before I got the 135. The 35 1.4 is awesome. I did, however, scratch the front element. Can you tell? I mean, you've been on here the whole time, and there's no way of really knowing the front element's scratched. I believe I'm setting it like F9 now, so there's really no way of telling that there's a scratch in the front element. I do want to go and send it off and get it fixed through Sony. It shouldn't cost too much according to them. They can't give me an accurate price until I send it off, that whole thing. But I don't foresee it costing too much. It's just the front element. They said they can replace it. Everything should be fine. But again, it does not hinder the performance on it at all. It's a great lens. No problem with it at all. And typically that's what everybody goes with, is the 35 or the 85. That's typically the two that you carry if you carry two camera bodies, which I do. So what I find myself gravitating more the most, though, is this 24 1.4. I can't explain exactly why I like this lens better than the 35. Not better in performance or anything like that. It's just use case, basically. So what I find is with the 35, there's always these instances where I feel like I'm just too close and I don't have any more room to back up. And the 24 basically allows me to where I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, that's the reason why I go with the 24. And if I need to, if you know anything about the Sony cameras, I go Super 35, punch this one in, it turns in basically to a 50. I know it's a little bit off, but somewhere around 50. But yeah, this one's generally never leaves my camera. Right now I have the 35 on there because I don't want anything this wide. I could have punched into, into 50, but then that would have been too close. You would be able to see the table. But yeah, that's the lenses I actually have. I use every single wedding day. This one's always on one camera, usually my right, my main camera. This one's on the left as my secondary in case I need to, punch in really quick. I only use primes. I don't use any zoom lenses. Um, I carry a hold-fast system with a bag. I will do another video on that. But this goes in the back of the bag as I'm carrying it. The 35 lives in the bag, my actual bag that I carry all my gear in case anything happens to this one or this one, because I can punch in on 35 and make a 50. And again, the 50 doesn't get used unless my wife is with me. She generally second shoots with me. She's the one that's with me all the time, so this one does get used often whenever she's with me, but not so often that, I am in a huge rush to go get the 51.4 other than the fact that I really want that lens. But yeah, this is the lineup, guys. This is how, this is, basically what I use during every wedding, not counting the film cameras, which I will go over those in a future video as well. But I love Sony lenses. They're fast, they're sharp, they're just amazing pieces of gear that I would suggest to anybody. I've not ran into a bad one yet, and yeah, they've been awesome. But that's it for this video, guys. Make sure to catch me in the next one. I think we're going to do a film photography or film related video where I go over the film gear I carry, because I do shoot hybrid digital and film on wedding days. So yeah, catch me in the next video, and we'll see you in that one. Later.